Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a stud wide receiver, an All-American from Emporia State. His name is Tyler Kahmann. He is a wide receiver. Nice to have you today, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Again, a lot of accolades this year, man. Did very well for yourself. Was also named the a Harlon Hill finalist this year, which is really awesome. That being the D2 version of the Heisman, which is kind of sweet. So Tyler put together a very great career. Let's walk through it. So go ahead and introduce yourself and let's get going.
Yeah, Tyler Kahmann. I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I've been at Emporia State my 6 years. It's been a long time coming, and I'm ready for the next step.
So 6 years at one school with some of the accomplishments that you have had isn't quite as common as we're used to seeing, because usually when people get to like the level that you have obtained, most people are going to be skipping ship, hitting the portal, trying to cash in on some NIL money. But bro, been fairly loyal to your school, which is awesome. Uh, Tyler, again, you had mentioned, from the Wichita area, attended Campus High School in Kansas, and kind of nice. But I do want to start from the very beginning. How long have you played football?
I think I've been playing since I was second grade, so probably like 8 or 9. Just always loved it. Always been a receiver. I know a lot of guys probably play quarterback and stuff growing up and just naturally switch positions, but we always had a good quarterback, so I played receiver. Also played basketball and baseball, and was fortunate enough to be successful in that in high school too. So yeah, I've been playing for a long time, and I love it.
So, growing up in Kansas, I'm just kind of curious, like, who are you a big fan of as a kid? I mean, you're 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever. Like, who was the team? Who was the player? Whose jersey did you own first? Like that sort of thing. Talk about your fandom as a kid.
Yeah, so I'm lucky now. Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that's my team. I grew up. I used to go to a lot actually as a kid, but tickets got more and more expensive. So, but yeah, no. Growing up, my favorite player was Jamal Charles by far. I love Jamal. I had a jersey. That was my first jersey. I still have it, probably in my closet actually. But yeah, it's Jamal Charles. Went through the Matt Castle days, like all those guys. Like it was rough for a long time, but we've been lucky the past couple years.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, he brought in an excellent coach, and now is really the premier team in the NFL, winning championships, which is nice. So it's nice to say that you were a fan before they reached their peak, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
But hey, let's walk through this a little bit more. Again, you had mentioned played some basketball and baseball during your time in high school, but buddy, we know you as wide receiver. And so obviously you chose to really focus all your time and efforts in on football. What is it about football you love the most?
Yeah. No, I thought, coming out of college or high school, the reason why I chose football really is just because I had better opportunities in football. But when I got to college, I just realized how much I love like the X's and O's parts of it. I mean, I feel like I'm a student of the game. I watch a lot of film. I love watching film over other receivers or just coverages in general. I really like. I feel like I think like a quarterback in a sense. Like I like to know what like the read does on every single play and like stuff like that. And I think it ends up helping me as a player. So I really enjoy that part of football. I obviously enjoy, the touchdowns and the catches and the stuff like that. And then the beautiful thing about football is bringing a bunch of different personalities together and to achieve one common goal. I mean, there's not a whole lot of sports like it. Like you got 100 guys on a team, all from everywhere. And I think that's the best part about it.
Yeah, and obviously, man, chose to go to Emporia State, staying in Kansas. I don't know if that might have been one of the selling factors for you, but I mean, talk your school up a little bit for people that have never maybe stepped on campus. What makes that school so special for you?
Yeah, so one, Emporia State, we're in the MIAA conference. The MIAA is widely known as like the SEC of Division Two. Very good conference. The facilities in the conferences in Emporia State are great, but not the real reason why you go to Emporia State is for the culture, and the coaching staff, and that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed and stayed there 6 years is because I enjoy it so much. And if anybody that's gone to Emporia knows that it's different, it's different there. And the coaching staff, I love Coach Higgins. Coach Higgins has been great to me. And then we throw the ball. A ton. We threw the ball 74 times one game this year. So yeah, and that's also a selling point as a receiver.
Well, hey, I mean, when you're in a conference that loves to throw the ball on a team that loves to throw the ball, and you're a receiver, and every single receiver wants the ball in their hands, it just sort of makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
again, Emporia State just seemed to be like a done deal for you. You know, you end up going there, and as you had mentioned, bro, you've been there for 6 years, so I mean, I'm sure you've obtained at least one degree by now, right? So,
yeah.
talk to me about you as a student.
Yeah, so I graduated with my business administration degree with a focus on finance last winter, and then I'm finishing my master's this semester. I got 4 classes left. Yeah, I was fortunate enough. I think I had like a 3.75 GPA in undergrad, and so yeah, I've been fortunate.
Nice. So at least you have some degrees to fall back on. But I mean, very, very, very good wide receiver. One of the best small school wide receivers in this draft class. Um, some of your numbers are seriously like video game-esque this year. And even last year, if we're looking at last year, combined this year and last year, 40 touchdowns as a receiver, which is just, I don't know, it's unheard of. Like you barely see a wide receiver doing that sort of thing. But obviously, yeah, you guys air the ball out a lot. Talk about y'all's offense.
Yeah, it's just a spread. Just we do a lot of 11 personnel, but do some 10. But I mean, it's throw the ball every single time you're really running a route. I mean, it's RPOs, it's stuff like that every single play. Smoke screens. It's fast tempo. We're always going fast. That's like kind of our thing. Is just fast, fast, fast. And then yeah, for me personally, I run a ton of option routes. It's a lot of quick game, a lot of option routes, and I kind of made a living off that in college, I guess, of just finding grass, finding space, and I think that's what I do best. And yeah, it's a fun offense to play in though.
Gotcha. Would you say uh, of some of those option routes, which one would be one of your favorites? For you to run for your quarterback. Like, do you have one in particular that you, I don't know, really enjoy?
Well, just like 5 yards in or out. I mean that's a lot what we run. And it's when it's man to man. I mean, it's hard to lose, to be honest, because you can go one way or another. It doesn't really matter wherever you're feeling space. And but yeah, there's a bunch. You can go to 10 yards, option routes and stuff like that. But I think I made more of a living off the 5 yard ones.
Gotcha. And looking at a decent sized wide receiver, Tyler, share your current height and weight if you don't mind.
Yeah, I went in or at CGS, I was 6'1", 6'1" and a half at 208. So
So 6'1", half 208, listed on the website there at 6'3". So ended up weighing officially 6'1" and a half, which is
yeah,
fine. It's
without
okay.
shoes. Right, right, right.
It
Yeah,
happens all the time where you get a small school that tries to give you at least an inch. And
yeah,
maybe you're if you put the cleats on, maybe
six
it
three.
makes
There you go.
sense. But pretty solid size as a receiver. How would you describe yourself as a receiver? Are you like a possession type guy? I mean, are you a deep threat? I mean, how would you define yourself as a receiver?
Yeah, I think more possession for sure. I think my ability to find space I would put up there with anybody in my feel for the game.
Hmm.
And I think I'm a good route runner. I don't have blazing speed or anything like that, but I think I can win my one-on-ones against anybody. And I think that, like I said, the real thing that separates me is my feel for football.
Nice. And obviously there are some people around you that obviously you couldn't do what you do without them. I was
Yeah.
looking at, really just some of this year's stats alone, as you had mentioned. I mean, you guys threw the ball like a ton in some of your games. I know I was looking at one game where your quarterback threw like, I don't know, almost 600 yards, something crazy. Talk up some of the guys around you, and maybe some guys there at Emporia State that we need to know.
Yeah, no, listen, I couldn't do anything without my teammates for sure. Yeah, so at quarterback this year we had Gunnar Gundy, Mike Gundy's son. He was a very good player. He could sling it. He started a couple games at Oklahoma State, so he was a very good player. Had a great season, and he's an underrated runner. To be honest with you, he's a good runner. I didn't realize that until he got here, and yeah, and then around me, receiver wise, we had Trenton Collins, who's going to be a great. He's going to be a NFL draft prospect. He'll be a junior next year, but the year after, he's a great player. We had Zion Jones, another good receiver. Billy Ross, running back. Tommy Zimmerman, tight end. I mean, we had a lot of weapons around me, and our offensive line's also playing really good. Another NFL draft prospect this year is Sherman Deaton. He was also at CGS. He's a good player. And then defensively, Jaron Joseph, who is also at CGS, he's a very good player.
Talking up CGS a lot, obviously, the College Gridiron Showcase, you had attended that. I do want to talk about that here in a little bit, but I just want to kind of break down things about this season, your overall career, until we get to some of the postseason stuff. So, this year, you guys ended up going 7-4. Again, as we had mentioned, I mean, you're in a conference that's very tough. You're playing against really some teams that love to air it out just like yourself. And so I mean you guys are fighting and clawing, trying to get yourselves in a position where you could be in that conference championship, could be able to move on. Talk about just kind of your overall success this season, and then what we can expect for years to come.
Yeah. So like you said, our conference is very tough. We started out actually 7-1 and lost our last three, which sucked. But we played some good teams at the very end of the year. Obviously, like the Zach Sabrowski who played UCM, he's a great player. Um, Fort Hayes had a bunch of guys, that very good players, and then UCO. So yeah, we played some good teams. And then, but yeah, we beat Pitt State this year early in the season, right after they beat Ferris, who ended up being the national championship team. So that was a fun game. Um, and yeah, man, we try to take it one game at a time. Unfortunately, it didn't go our way this year, but we had a decent year.
Yeah, you talked up a little bit that game against Pitt State. Um, they were very highly ranked at the time. I mean, they were, I want to say, like fourth in the country or something at the time when
Yeah,
you guys upset them. I mean, and then of course, a lot of other great games this season. One of the ones that I had saw Nebraska Kearney.
yeah,
Dude, you lit it up like I don't know, you were on fire that game. 19 receptions, 296 yards, 5 touchdowns. It was almost as if there was no other receiver out there. But I mean, you're again, like I had mentioned, your quarterback did have like 560 some yards. So I mean, uh, great game, man. I mean, uh, talk through one of your best personal highlights, maybe if it's that game or another game that you take the most pride in.
yeah. I would say for sure that game is probably my best career game. I mean, it was kind of like you were saying, like on fire, like in basketball, whenever you feel like you can't miss. That's exactly what it felt like, to be honest with you. They played a lot of man that game, and the gunner did a great job finding me all game. And it was like I said, like it was just like I didn't feel like I could get guarded that game. I felt like I could make every single catch. It was one of those games, and it was a lot of fun. We needed it. We only won by a touchdown, so we needed it. And it was on the road against a good team, so it was fun.
So I love some of these stats, man. So I mean, some people love them. and I want to kind of touch on a few of them. So, uh, 281 career receptions, 3,661 career yards, which is a team record, actually. 54 career touchdowns, buddy, all conference, MIAA, several times over, All-American, Harlon Hill finalist, team captain. What is it that you are most proud of when you look at like all these accomplishments for you?
Yeah, I think you said it. I think being a team captain is one of the biggest accomplishments that you can ask for. Your team votes on it, your coaches vote on it, so it really shows how your team feels about you. And leadership in football is such a big important thing. And because you got 100 guys, like I said, that have a bunch of different personalities, and me being one of the guys that they can look up to and they can ask questions to, and I try to be the most um, like I never put myself above anybody else. Like I feel like everybody should still be right here, even though I have a title. So yeah, I think being team captain was definitely one of my biggest accomplishments.
Awesome. Well, Tyler obviously closed up your time there at Emporia State. Um, had a phenomenal career. And then, of course, as we had mentioned before, you end up heading over to the College Gridiron Showcase in Fort Worth, Texas. So talk up that event a little bit. I mean, again, that's a few days that you were over there. So what did you do?
Yeah, it was a great experience. I'm so glad that I was very very fortunate to get invited to that. Um, it's a lot of cognitive testing, which I've never really done the cognitive testing, so it was interesting. Your reaction time and stuff like that, and yeah, and they do a great job. I mean, there was hundreds of scouts there, like it was unbelievable. Um, it was awesome. Friday was basically all cognitive testing, and uh, you know they had some speakers come talk to us and stuff, and then Saturday was one-on-ones, and showing competing against maybe Division 1 guys, like a lot of Division 1 guys there, and that was fun for me. Being that I stayed at Emporia all years, all 6 years, I never got to really compete against some of those SEC guys, Big 12 guys, and that was fun for me. That was a lot of fun. And then Sunday, wrapping it up, since it was snowing, we didn't necessarily play a game, but we did 7-on-7, and honestly, I mean that's good. I got a lot of reps in, and it was fun playing with different quarterbacks and going against some of those guys.
So, obviously you're there at CGS. There's a lot going on. You get a chance to do these one-on-ones, but buddy, the most important thing there is literally sitting down with NFL scouts and doing interviews. And so I got to ask, how did those go? I don't know if you feel comfortable name dropping a couple of teams, but talk to me about some of the interviews during your time there.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily get to fully just sit down and interview with anybody, unfortunately. But I talked to some guys, and it was a good time. It was fun. It was really crazy how they were all just in one room interviewing everybody, and so it was interesting experience. And like I said, I was very fortunate to be a part of it.
Nice. So, uh, obviously closed up your time there at CGS. And so, what's the game plan? What's happening, over the next couple months? Like, do you have a training facility, a trainer, somebody? Like, where are you going to be at and what's going on?
Yeah, so I'm actually just training with my strength coach. I have a lot of faith in him, a lot of trust in him. He's already made me way better, way faster, and it's all I can ask for. So I'm training here, and then yeah, pro day hasn't been a set date yet, but I'm planning on we're going to Pitt State pro day, so it should be good. Unfortunately, I can't go to like the KU or K State because they do one whole Big 12 pro day, so you have to be a part of the Big 12 for that one.
Well, it's fine. I mean, there are going to be some scouts that are
Oh
looking
yeah.
at you. I mean, bro, you can't have an All-American season and not gain a little bit of attention from scouts. So again, put together a great career. Um, have you been able to, I guess, absorb the fact, take in the fact that you are an NFL prospect right now? I mean, is that something that you're ready to go after and get, or what?
Yeah, oh, I'm definitely ready. I don't think I've necessarily like just sat down and thought about it. Just taking it one day at a time. Just controlling everything I can control. I think that's important. I got a lot of people behind me supporting me and stuff like that, and that's also important. But yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a fun process. It's a fun process. It's a long process. It's something like that you never think you really get to experience until it happens. So I'm very blessed.
Nice. So I kind of want to get a chance to meet this Tyler Common before we wrap things up. So I mean, anything else that we need to know about this guy? I mean, anything that he's into, interested in, any fun facts, special talents, um, anything at all that you want to share. It doesn't matter what it is, even if it's goofy, quirky, or whatever. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. I guess one of the things that I love to do around here is there's not much to do, but is I got into golf the past couple of years. So I've been a golfer. A lot of teams in our or a lot of people on our team are into golf, so that's fun going and playing with them. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. I love football. I love football. I don't know how else to say it. I love football, and I'm just excited to and blessed to be where I am.
No, it's all right, man. I'm just trying to pick your brain a little bit
Oh,
to
you're
see if
good.
there's anything else we need to know about you. So, uh, attended Emporia State for 6 years. What was your hardest class that you had to endure?
Uh, I took a and my human anatomy class was hard. Uh, that was like, yeah, I changed my majors midway through college. So I wanted to be a chiropractor. And then like with COVID and everything, I would have had to do a ton of school like after 6 years, and I just didn't, wasn't in the plan. So I switched to business degree. But yeah, taking a human anatomy was definitely my hardest class.
So, the whole chiropractor thing, I mean, do you play around with that at all? Like you maybe help out some of your teammates or whatever, like in the you could help them out a little bit. Hey, let me crack your back real quick. Is that
No,
something
I
that you
don't.
try to do or no?
I think that was something that I just wanted to do for a long time. I don't necessarily want to do that anymore. So no, I don't do that. I don't know how to either. So, but yeah, it
I'm
was
pretty
a
sure it's something you could figure out.
yeah.
Let's see if there's. I mean, I'm going to try and throw some questions your way. See if we can get more out of you. That's again just for fun. So, uh, growing up as a little kid in Wichita, you're maybe I don't know, 8 years old. So favorite cartoon at the time.
Oh gosh. Um, yeah, I loved watching Phineas and Ferb. I don't know. That's a throw that's a throwback, I guess. But I loved
That's
watching
cool. I
them.
love it.
Is
That's
awesome. Yeah,
that's
that's I haven't thought about them for a while. So.
that's definitely a fun show. And so I don't know maybe if this is something that you do now, but favorite breakfast cereal.
Yeah, I haven't eaten cereal in a long time, but Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops, I love Fruit Loops. It's awesome.
And so when you say long time, meaning like 6 or more years, or maybe 6 or more months, or what?
I don't remember the last time I've eaten cereal, honestly.
So what is a typical breakfast for you?
Yeah, I like eggs and hash browns. I'm very simple too. Like I can eat the same things over and over again. I'm just eggs and hash browns.
It's what you get from a young athlete that doesn't have to worry about his cholesterol.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's all right. Let's see here. You fancy yourself a movie buff? I mean, you have some nice movies that you've seen lately, or what?
I'm not a huge movie guy. I mean, I'll watch them. I'm more of like a TV series guy.
So
My favorite.
what's the series for you that you've been liking?
So one that I just finished watching, it's older, it's not like brand new, but Blacklist. Have you ever
Okay,
heard of Blacklist? Yeah, it was awesome. I like the criminal stuff or and stuff like that. It's interesting. So yeah, Blacklist is probably my favorite.
gotcha. Are you a book reader at all? I mean,
No.
okay. You have any pets?
Yeah, I have a couple dogs. Couple dogs. I'm not a big I'm actually allergic to cats, so don't got any cats. But yeah, I love my dogs. They're awesome. Yeah.
Well, we got at least one small fun fact about you. He's allergic to cats.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Um, let's see. Uh, Talk up your I don't know, hometown a little bit. Maybe I have been to Wichita. It's been a long time. But what is the one thing that you miss the most when you're away?
Yeah, just my family, like a lot of my family's there. Emporia's only an hour and a half away, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I love seeing my family. The community itself is great. I loved my high school. My high school was awesome. All those teachers and stuff like that. We really brought the community together. And yeah, I think just the people is what I miss the most about it. I lived kind of like in a suburb, so not necessarily a whole lot of food, and like I don't miss any food or anything like that. But yeah, no, I think just the people.
Gotcha. Well, Tyler, we are coming to a close for our time. Obviously, just want to go through a few minutes of us just BSing,
Yeah.
talking about a little bit more about you. And so, obviously, if people need to reach out to you, they can hook up with your agent or whatever. But uh, Tyler, you've had some scouts at your games at the CGS, of course, a lot of people watching you. And so as we close up, tell them what makes you a great addition to any professional team, and why a team should take a chance on you. So hit them with your pitch and close us out.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, but my feel for the game, I can't stress it enough. Like I know a big part of NFL why players struggle is the playbook and stuff like that, and I grasp that kind of stuff really well. Another thing is that if someone would describe me, I feel like the first word they would say is competitive. I'm competitive about everything, whether it's kickball or if it's pitch like card games, like everything. I've and I think you need that especially when you're battling for a spot from a small school. Like you got to be competitive. And I've faced a lot of adversity in my life, and I'm ready for this next step. And I can't wait to show it.
Yeah, I mean, certainly, really one of the more prolific receivers that we've seen come out of college in a while. And obviously knows what it means to win, knows what it means to go out there, get himself open, put himself in a position to succeed. And so, Tyler, I know you got a lot going on training, and hope things go well for you this draft season and beyond. Okay.
Yep. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Sure thing. Once again, I got with me Tyler Kahmann, wide receiver out of Emporia State, All-American. Check him out.